All right, folks. So I just watched Sinners for the first time, and I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. Is it a perfect movie? No, but it's pretty close. If you guys don't know, Sinners just released. Well, it didn't just release, but it's been out for a little while now. But it's still more of a newer film. And no, that's not Sinners behind me. That's The Last Dragon. It's just a good movie. But Sinners was great. It's a lot going on in the film, and a lot of music, a lot of vampires, a lot of racial undertones. It is set in 1932 Mississippi, so I don't know what you expect. Of course, you're gonna have to sit through some of that, but that's a part of history. And also, the movie was written by, I got my notes here, Ryan Coogler. So I Googled him. I didn't know who he was, but apparently he had taken part in the Black Panther movies, also the Creed movies. So that's why we're seeing Michael B. Jordan, of course. He does a great job, and I see why Ryan Coogler picked him for that lead role. He actually plays two characters at once. He plays two brothers, Smoke and Stack, which he does great. Some of that could be a little confusing. So, watching it the first time, you're like, which brother is which? But nevertheless, it's still a great movie. The movie has a very diverse cast, which I give it credit for. Every character that was in the film did a great job, and the character casting was great. Some of the mentions I'll mention here: Jack O'Donnell, he played the bad guy, of course. Delroy Lindo, Haley Steinfeld, Lisa Chow, and also Buddy Guy, who is a very famous guitarist, which means a lot to me, as you guys can see. I'm big into music, as you can see, very big into music, guitar playing and different things like that. So, I mean, they all did a great job. No complaints about the character casting or anything like that. And, my only complaint with the movie is that sometimes some things felt a little cut or a little short. There is certain mentions of Native Americans in the film. There's a small part where we do meet some Native American vampire hunters, but we don't see them again. I guess we didn't really need that, but the movie, towards the second half of it, definitely was a big change. To put that in perspective for you guys, the first part of the movie just deals with, at that time, modern day Mississippi, the racial undertones, interracial relationships, different things like that. There's a lot of relations in this movie, so don't bring the kids to this film. Michael B. Jordan gets it on twice with a white woman and a big sister. Yeah, be ready for that. There's also another brother in there. What's the word? What's the safe word to use? He's doing some fellatio, as the kids say. They actually called it something different in the movie. Coos. Yeah, there you go. We get that 1932 slang. Also, nookie is another word. Now, I thought that was just a Limp Bizkit song, but you see here where that word comes from. A very fun movie. It mentions a lot of other things. Yeah, the vampire stuff. Yes, the racial stuff, but also mentions of hoodoo, as there's a character in there about that. Also, of course, all the different music. The music in this movie was great. There's a lot of different types of music that's in the movie, not just black music. There's also a scene where Michael B. Jordan is river dancing to Irish music. What movie have you seen that in? He does a good job. So it's a good blend of like blues music, folk music, early R&B, of course Irish music, of course, and it also tries to show you the progression of black music through a certain scene to where they're in a juke joint. They're performing. One of the main characters, what is his name? I forget his name. Sammy. Sorry, Sammy is also another good character in the movie. He plays guitar, which is great. And somehow him playing guitar gets him noticed by the vampires, and they come over and they try to take them over. Of course, it's a vampire film. But I mean, the main thing about the music is that it's just so diverse, and that's what I love. There's a certain part of the film when they're in the juke joint, and they show you the progression of black music where it's tribal. There's elements of blues, folk music, and it starts to grow into early R&B, rock and roll, and then it goes into hip hop, and then it goes into trap music, of course, because that's where we're at now. Hopefully we'll build and get back to the more creative stuff. That's a different topic, but it shows you the progression. It's very interesting. So I really appreciated that. Some might call the film a musical. I wouldn't call it that. Michael B. Jordan wasn't on screen singing and dancing or anything like that. There's some dancing going on, but it's really cool. And definitely it doesn't take away from the film. In fact, it helps you to get more invested in the film, as that music was what they listened to at the time. And definitely they did a good job on that. But, you know, the movie changes when it gets to the juke joint part. That's when we finally see the vampires. And that's when the movie, I feel, gets good. And now it does feel a little bit like From Dusk Till Dawn, where they are in that big bar establishment, very similar looking, and they're partying, and then the vampires come and they crash the party, kill almost everybody off, and only like 1 or 2 people live. So I don't want to give the ending away, but after that great scene in the juke joint, you know, where they're partying and doing the music and making love, you know, that's when those vampires come. The vampires in this movie use traditional, the traditional vampire stats, where someone has to invite them in before they can come in. And also steaks are used, garlic is used. It's one of those movies. It doesn't try to reinvent the whole vampire thing, which I like. Some of these new shows will definitely try to change things up too much. Why was Edward sparkling in Twilight? Whatever. Back to a good vampire movie. So towards the end, I don't want to give it away, but not a lot of people live in this movie. You might be asking yourself, does Michael B. Jordan live? In a way, he does. And that's all I'll say. But towards the end, I'll give one thing away. Sammy lives. He does live fully. He turns into an old man. Of course, he becomes a guitar hero with a successful band, which is really cool to see. And of course, this character is played by Buddy Guy, who's already a legend on his own. If you don't know who that is, then Spotify is there for you. Go check it out. But it actually ends very peacefully. Even some people might even call it a little bit funny, especially with the other ending where Michael B. Jordan takes on the KKK. He becomes a one-man army and takes on like 20 people in the KKK. There's also a scene where he throws a grenade into a moving vehicle. So it has a lot of action in this film, and it's beautifully done. The effects are beautifully done. The vampire effects I really loved. The movie right here, it grossed almost $400 million in climbing, off of a budget of only around 90 to 100 million. So you bet your ass is going to be a sequel, a prequel, or whatever they're going to do. Now, personally, Big Tony doesn't see a reason why there should be a sequel. Everybody, I'm not trying to give away the ending, almost everyone died, but knowing Hollywood, they can still figure out a way to bring this movie back, especially when it's done so well financially. Hollywood likes to milk things until everyone hates the movie. There could be a prequel involved, explaining more of the Native American vampire hunters. They come and go. They're only on screen for a couple minutes. We don't see them again. So I felt like that was a little rushed, or maybe some of the parts were cut. Also, it could mention more of the bad guy, the vampires. Where did they come from? Why did they pop up? We don't really know that. All we really know about the vampires are that they are vampires and they are Irish. Why are they Irish? What's up with that? But I don't know. Apparently, it's at the end of the day, it's still a great movie. It's doing great financially. It's already out on video, or what do they call it, on Amazon. I watched it on Amazon. So, go check it out for yourself. Have your own opinion on it. I did see some people that didn't like the movie. Some people felt it was a little slow or anything or something like that. I thought it was great. It was a good pacing. But hey, not everybody's going to like it. But I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. Because it's just really great casting. You believe the characters to be who they're portraying. A lot of movies will just cast someone just to cast them, like that Last of Us show with Bella Ramsey, who looks nothing like the character she's supposed to portray, which definitely, as you guys probably heard, that show is not doing that great. I think it's on its final season anyway. But great casting, great music, great setting. Even the usage of the different camera lighting and tones look great. From daytime to nighttime, you see the transition done beautifully. The vampire effects were done awesome. The mouth, the blood, the eyes, and everything like that were done great. I don't really have a lot of complaints with the movies. Yeah, some parts felt a little bit rushed or cut off, but overall, the movie was great, and I can understand why it performed so well. So that's it. You guys go and check out the movie for yourself. I'll do another couple movie reviews. If there's something that you'd like me to review, just let me know. But other than that, stay safe, guys. Have a good one.
Big Tony's TV.